Hello everybody. It's Sunday and it's John and Michelle for our weekly live, our Sunday Satsang. And tonight we are going to be talking about your word is your wand, which was a beautiful, let's wait for a few more people to join us before we actually give the intro.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So these Sunday night satsangs are really just a gathering of like-minded individuals, and where two or more gathered, there I am. And the I am is the true essence that we are, and it's the true essence of the divine. So as we sit here tonight, let us be mindful of our intention to be here, and also to radiate the love and the light and the peace and the presence into the greater community. So if you're aware of anything that needs a bit of help in the world, your world, the bigger world, then as we sit here tonight, let's just set an intention that it gets amplified. This healing gets amplified into the greater world. And that is powerful. That is really, really powerful. These satsangs, I think, are, another little point of light on planet Earth at this time.
I think they are.
And we need a lot of points of light on the planet at this time. And so it is important to be here. It's important to participate in I don't want to call it work, but it is spiritual work, if you want to put it that way. And spirit means consciousness. So just becoming conscious and using the power of intention and the power of connection, the power of community, to set a vibration and a frequency out into the world with greater measure than we can do it individually. So welcome to everyone who's joining us tonight. We love doing these satsangs, and we love having people with us in the room to share their energy. So thank you. And we also love to know who we're talking to. So if you can just give us your name in the comments box. And if you're new, tell us where you're from. And we love the thumbs, and we love the hearts.
Yeah, and some comments are always good, and suggestions for future satsangs. If you've got anything that you'd like us to chat about, that's also quite lovely.
Yes.
And getting feedback from you.
Yeah, we love getting
how
feedback.
You're doing.
Yeah.
And if something resonates, or if you've got something to add or ask, it's as a community. We can't really answer it live because we can't type as we're doing it, but we can certainly look at it afterwards and respond. So.
We do respond to all comments. We do respond to afterwards.
Yeah.
So, thank you for being here, and also to help spread the satsang to a wider, broader audience. If you can, just click the share button. It's really great, because then it goes out live onto your timeline as well, which is really good, really helpful.
For sure.
Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about Your Word is Your Wand, which was a beautiful title of a book written by Florence Scovel Shinn years ago. I mean, she was one of the first women and the first writers to ever write about the power of affirmation and words, and way before her time. And I can't remember, but a long time ago. Because, my mom actually had the books, my late mom, and she lived by them. She read them over and over. They were really tatty and dog-eared, and then passed them on to me. So, and it was a nice title, because we wanted to talk about words and the power of words and the power of communication, the power of thought. And it's not something we've really talked about before, and I think it's a good theme for energetically what we're going through at the moment, and it's a good reminder. Yeah.
Your words are your wand, so we can create magic with our words.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to investigate tonight, and we're going to unlock that awareness of the power in our words.
Yes.
So
So welcome, people.
Welcome everyone. Yes. So let's just start as we normally do by entering a little state of no mind, a little state of presence, a little state of peace. And I'm sure you've all had maybe busy days, busy weekends. It's the end of the weekend now, so let's just build a bank account of peace, that we've got something in reserve for when we wake up tomorrow morning and enter the first day of the week. We've actually got something to draw upon as the challenges of life come at us. So that's the purpose of meditation, is to actually build up that spiritual muscle, and give us something in reserve. So let's just settle back into our chairs or wherever we're sitting at the moment. Make sure you've got comfortable cushions, and just gently allow your eyes to close. If you want, you can do it open-eyed if you wish, but closing your eyes helps you bring your awareness into the physical body, and we always start by using our awareness of the physical body to bring our mind out of the stories that we've been telling ourselves all day long and come into the present moment. So let's just close our eyes and become aware of where our feet are resting right now. Just check in with your feet. Just check in to see how they are right in this moment. See if there's any complaints from the feet department. How are your ankles at the moment? Bring your awareness to your big toe on your left foot. Bring your total awareness into that big toe on your left foot. And check in with the toenail. See if there's any tension under the toenail. Let's do the same exercise with your right foot and your big toe on your right foot. Just check in with the toenail on the big toe on your right foot. Just check in there and see if there's any tension under the toenail. And notice how much more alert you become as you do this. How much more present you become as you check in with your feet. The soles of your feet. Feel them maybe connecting with Mother Earth. Feel an energy, an exchange of energy from your body into the earth and from the earth into your body. Now let's draw this energy from Mother Earth up through our ankles, up through our shins and our calf muscles into the knees. And let's just bring a certain amount of healing into the knees. Just saying thank you to the knees for the work that they've done today to allow you to be mobile. Just draw this energy up your thighs, into your hips, relaxing your genitals, bringing this energy now up your vertebra, slowly, one at a time, just consciously becoming aware of each one as you move up to the space between your shoulder blades. And while you're there, just relax your shoulder blades up to your neck, relaxing your neck. And now let's bring this energy from Mother Gaia up our body to the crown of our head. And maybe use the power of visualization to see a fountain of this earth energy coming out of the top of your head like a beautiful golden shower, sparkles around your body. And now let's draw the energy from Father Sky down into our body. Bring this higher awareness, this higher energy down. Moving it down the front of your body, down the chest, down the torso, back into your hips, down your legs, knees, shins, ankles, into your feet and back into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth celebrates as she gets this connection with Father Sky through you. You're the conduit for this beautiful flow, the circular flow of energy. Mother Earth, Father Sky, Mother Earth. And you're the sacred, precious conduit between the two. Now let's just bring our awareness to our eyelids, gently closed. Just become aware of anything you can see behind your eyelids now, any colors, any shapes. And once again, notice how much more present you become as you become aware of the colors, the shapes behind your eyelids. And as you look, just become aware of who is looking, who is aware. Now let's gently take a very deep breath into the body. Beautiful breath in and a long breath out, just relaxing your shoulders again as you breathe out. Take a second very deep breath into your belly, so you're drawing the belly out like a big ball, and then as you breathe out, you bring your belly button back to touch your spine, so you're really squeezing from your solar plexus, squeezing it all out. Take a third deep breath in, drawing the air right the way down to the toes now, tummy going out like a big ball, and as you breathe out, make it a long sigh. Beautiful, long, relaxing, surrendered sigh out. Let it all go. And as you do this, you sink down deeper into your body, back into the present moment, withdrawing your mind from all of the times and all of the places, and becoming supremely focused in the here and now. The only place where life is. The only place we can find love. And the only place we can find peace, in the here and now. Allow life to continue to breathe you, but maintain an awareness of the breath as life gently breathes you in and out. Our intention has amazing power, so let's use our intention now, in this moment, to generate a frequency, a field of energy within us, of heightened peace, of heightened serenity. And we do this just by surrendering to this moment all our attachments, and just allowing our awareness to rest gently in our heart, and radiating this peace, this light, this love, throughout every single cell in your bodies. Acknowledging the incredible complexity of the human form and the way it functions so miraculously. And so now in this moment we're using our intention to just radiate this beautiful energy of peace from our hearts into every cell in our bodies. And now we expand that energy to incorporate everyone in your household at the moment. It's expanding it even to those who are not physically present with you. This beautiful, beautiful feeling of peace, connection, of love. And now as a group we radiate this feeling to a much larger audience. We radiate this feeling of peace from our hearts to all who journey with us on planet Earth at this time. We ask for clarity, for greater presence in the world, greater love, greater community, greater compassion. And as we ask, it is given, so this energy is amplified. And right now there is a radiance of love around the planet. And it is beautiful. Feel that beauty in your heart, with a tingling of joy in there as well. And now take a very deep breath into your bodies. Take a deep breath in, blowing the tummy up like a big ball. More. And then a beautiful surrendering breath out as we drop our awareness deeper into our body, into this present moment, here and now, with a sense of gratitude for being here tonight. And when you're ready, you may very gently open your eyes and just see how you feel in this moment. How do you feel right now? A bit more centered, a bit more peaceful, hopefully. Just type it up in the comments box. Let us know how you're feeling tonight. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to talk about words, and we're going to talk about some thoughts and communication. So astrologically, we're headed towards a full moon next Sunday. So we'll do something special next Sunday. But this, at the moment, we've got Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius, which is a sign of communication. So it's the axis of Sagittarius and Gemini. And Sagittarius is about what we're disseminating, what we're actually sending out into the world. So I always see Sag as the sort of the sparks that come out of a fire. So you've lit the fire, you've kindled the fire, and now the sparks are flying out of the fire. And that's a little bit like words. It's, what sparks are we sending out there? Because the intention of Sagittarius energy is always to grow and expand, which is a fiery energy. Fire always wants to grow. That's its thing. That's why it's so hypnotic. It's why we watch it all the time. And whenever those sparks are flying, it's trying to grow. It's trying to spread. So really, it's a beautiful theme to talk about. What words are we putting out there? What thoughts are we thinking? But even more importantly, what are we saying? What little sparks of light are we, or not, are we spreading? Are we sending out into the field? And so we thought it'd be a really good one to talk about, because it's a big subject, especially now. I worked in marketing for a very long time, and it's all about persuading people with images and words, and words have power. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you say a word enough, you can sway people, you can persuade people, you can put people into a particular state of mind. So you can make them feel relaxed and joyful, or you can make them feel really fearful, depending on what words you're speaking and what words you're seeing all over the place as well. So if we just think back on the last 2 years, if you think about the words that people are seeing every single day and what it's doing to everybody's emotions. Because when you see a word, depending on what that word resonates for you or what it evokes in you, it could be different. So, fire, the word fire, if we say fire in this context, it could be a really positive word. If you said fire in a closed building or a cinema, it might be a very negative word. You might have everybody spreading. So it's how you say it, it's in what context it is, it's how it's perceived. And words have a huge amount of power. So that's what we want to...
If you look at the slogan that came out early last year, which was just, it was so blatant, part of a pre-prepared marketing plan was that stay safe.
Stay safe.
It was just unbelievable.
Because within days of them announcing
every company had this slogan, stay safe. Now, what does that mean? Now, stay safe is good. Those are good words, stay safe. But what does it imply?
Yeah.
What does it imply? It implies there's danger out there. And there's fear out there. Yeah. So that, although stay safe, the words contain a fairly good power, because of the context in which those words were planted, it created the perception, there's danger. There's danger. I'm surrounded by danger and I've got to stay safe. And then basically words we use to shut us down. The word, for example, to be social distancing. That word was suddenly created, social distancing.
And lockdown.
There's nothing there's nothing social about distancing. Social is the opposite of distancing. So no, it was just wordplay manipulation, and then lockdown. That's a prison word. Word. So these are the words that we've been subjected to over and over again for the last 19, 20 months, really.
Years, yeah.
And those have a psychological effect on us. And they say if you tell a lie often enough, people tend to believe it. And so we have been bathed in a certain perception, narrative over the last 2 years. And our power, I believe, as each individual, we have immense power to create reality. Not only a perceptual reality for ourselves, but actually a reality in the physical world as well. And, those of you who've seen my Matrix video, and I talk about us being given, a truckload of bricks every day, 60,000 of them. And every single one of those bricks is a thought. And every day we get about 60,000 thoughts. And those are the bricks that we build a perceptual reality in our mind called the Matrix. And, that's absolutely fine. The problem is that probably 95% of those thoughts that we think are not chosen. They're not our thoughts. They've been given to us from an outside in. They're perceptual realities that are created by someone else that we buy into. So our power to create, which is in each and every thought that we choose to think, is co-opted or hijacked by a world outside of ourselves. And we then are disempowered, and we are then thinking the thoughts that someone else wants us to think.
Yeah.
And so we
Exactly.
thought we'd talk about just realizing the power of our words, because each word that we ever say is predicated on a prior thought.
Yeah.
And there's two types of thoughts that we think. There's the conscious thought, and we're aware of that thought that I'm having, and that's fine because it's an awareness. The problem is an awful lot of our thoughts are unconscious. In fact, almost all, probably 99% of our thoughts.
And a lot of our words are unconscious as well.
And then what happens is the unconscious thought creates a response in the words that come out of our mouth, and we haven't even consciously created that.
Yeah.
But that word that comes out into the physical world has power. It has huge power.
And it's kind of infinite, really, because those words never stop because we're energetic. So whatever we put out into the field just keeps going. And so we might, for example, you might say something to somebody just because it just comes out of your mouth, but it actually lands. And depending on where that word lands, it can cause incredible damage, or it can cause incredible positivity, depending on where the word lands. So, I mean, anybody that's worked in healing or any of these coaching things, psychology or anything, will know, clients will come back to you after years and say, you said XYZ 5 years ago, and I've never forgotten it. Or, I'm going to, it's really helped me. Or probably the opposite as well. I had one client who was told by an astrologer, which you can't actually do as an astrologer because you can't see it, but she was told that she would be paralyzed by the age of 42. And she came to me and said, can you see it? Can you see it? So I said, absolutely not. I can't see it at all. It's definitely not there. And so I said, no, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. And I mean, you can't see that anyway, but it was definitely not there. But she had been so conditioned by this and so scared by those words that she, every year that went by, she would think about, I wonder if this is going to be the year. Anyway, she came to see me the year after, so 44, I think she was. And she said, do you think maybe they made a mistake with the date? So I said, no, it's not going to happen. But the thing is that it then can also become a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then you're so focused in on those words that starts to actually create that field, that as a field. So I think it goes back to what we've been talking about a lot, is to see ourselves, to really start to see ourselves as energy. And that is what part of this shift is about, to realize that we're not this physical body and that's it. We're infinite and we're energetic. And whatever we put out there energetically, whether it's a thought or a word or a song or a piece of art or an image, has resonance. And it's vibratory.
Yeah.
It is. It's so powerful.
It's interesting because the good book says in the beginning was the word. Yeah. And that was, so on the ocean of stillness, there was this vibration, this creative energy, this ripple of polarity that was created, the word. And the word, they say, was with God, and the word was God. In other words, that word was the creator. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. And we, with every word we say, we enter into that creatorship. And it's to be, I believe now, particularly now as we're going through this birthing of a new world, to become more mindful of that power of every word that we say. And then to just step back into the thoughts that we think, and to be more mindful of those thoughts that we're thinking. What are those repetitive thoughts that we're thinking? And the word meditation, and this is why we really do suggest meditation should be a daily practice. Meditation means no mind. It means that there's no subconscious thinking, there's just emptiness, it's just presence, you're just aware of this moment. And as we sort of focus our intention in that space of presence. So we slowly disempower the subconscious mind from its repetitive thinking patterns. It takes practice because we've been so used to the subconscious programming. There's a great inertia in that. It's like a spinning wheel, and even though you stop empowering it, it still carries on spinning for a while. But the more we meditate, the more we go into stillness within us, the more we calm the mind, and we more become master of our thoughts. And therefore, from the mastership of our thoughts, we master the words that come out of our mouth. We become more mindful of every single word we say, as to whether those words are going to be constructive or destructive in the world around us.
Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it, do we actually need to speak? Because sometimes we don't need to. And I think the meditation, because a lot of people say, but I can't meditate, my mind's too busy. But don't worry about that. Allow it to be. You're bringing awareness to the busyness, so that when you're in the middle of the day and you've actually done some training, you can actually bring your mind back, and you can choose your thoughts, as opposed to letting your thoughts choose you. So you can choose to say, oh yeah, I'm actually, my thoughts are going down a rabbit hole here. I don't need to actually send them there. I can actually bring them back, and I can focus on this moment. I can focus on something more empowering, but I have a choice, as opposed to when you're in it and you don't feel like you've got a choice. And we always do have a choice. That's our power as well. And so just to know that these words, most of you will know about Emoto, the chap who worked with the water. It's incredible what he did with that water. So he would put if you infuse the water with the word, for example, hate, and then froze the water, it would go into sort of a gelatinous, mucky, horrible non-shape. If you infuse that same water with the word love, it created the most beautiful ice crystals. If you really consider what that means, is that every single word we speak is literally creating our reality.
Yeah, particularly as our bodies are 70% water.
Yeah.
So even just from your own physical body, the words we say have power. Never mind in the world around us.
Yeah. He did the same thing with rice, Emoto. So he cooked two things of rice, and he put one in glass jars, and on the one he wrote down thank you, and on the other one he wrote down you fool, and he put them in a classroom, and he got kids to actually come in, and every day, twice a day, they had to go and stand in front of the jar and actually say thank you and you fool. And within 30 days, the one with the you fool was just like black jelly.
Black, yeah. Completely
and the
black.
other one was white, fluffy
Beautiful.
rice.
Yeah, stay perfect.
That's, you can try it yourself. I'm sure. It's an experiment. It's visible.
Yeah.
And so we don't see it because we don't actually see our words.
Yeah.
We can't see them. But that doesn't mean that they don't have power.
Yeah.
So it's just to really be cognizant of what we're taking in. I know with social media, there's certain things when I open a social media thing, whatever it is, words evoke feelings. So you can open a page and see something, and straight away there's a feeling. And then we'll scroll past it, but that feeling has already been set in motion because you've read that. Or you read something empowering and you get a really good feeling. So what have we got on our phones? What have we got on our computers? When we open our eyes in the morning, what are we seeing? The first thing we see. Are we looking at our phones and seeing all the groups saying, are we watching the news? What are we ingesting in terms of words? Because that's what marketing is. Marketing and advertising are persuading people to do something based on an emotion. So if you want to sell something to somebody, you generally have to create some kind of a lack so that they think that they need that thing, whatever it is. It's very simple. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's all marketing is. It's persuasion.
Yeah. So now we have the thought creating the word, and the word has power. But the real power in the words that we speak are the emotions that they evoke, the emotion. And it's to realize that every single word has a possibility of creating a so-called positive emotion or a negative emotion. When I use positive and negative, I don't want to use it in a sort of purely judgmental way. I want to say a word that, a feeling that is pro-life or destructive of life, anti-life. Yeah. And so we can categorize the feelings that we feel, the ones that make us strong and the ones that make us weak. And if you look at the work of Dr. David Hawkins in Power versus Force, and he categorized emotions on a scale from 0 to 1,000. And if you look at that, it's not judging, fear as a bad emotion. It's just saying, well, that's very anti-life. It doesn't promote life. And we can see it from our own body, we can see that certain emotions make us feel weak. And certain emotions or certain feelings make us feel strong. I mean, if you think of the energy of joy, dance and joy, boy, it gives you life. Where if you feel, like, for example, regret or grief, those are ones that bring you down. It's not to deny those feelings, but it's to focus on the ones that you want and amplify them and to use your words. And one of the things Eckhart Tolle says, awareness is the greatest agent for change. So it's to become aware of these repetitive thought patterns that we're thinking that are creating our words. And the best way of doing that is to become aware of the self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? What are the repeating patterns? And are those words constructive or are those sentences destructive towards you? And one of the ways to say, well, would I talk to my best friend the way I talk to myself? And you probably find, no, you actually wouldn't have a best friend if you spoke to them the way that you speak to yourself. And it's just that awareness. It's not that you have to force change. It's just, if you are aware of something, you will automatically walk in a better direction. So it's just to become more mindful of those words that you are saying to yourself, because those words are mirroring thought patterns, and some of those thought patterns, most of the thought patterns may well be based on subconscious programs that are running from your childhood or from who knows where, and they're amplified through the power of your words, and those words create feelings within you, and those feelings determine the physical reality around us that we are experiencing. That's the incredible power that we are waking up to now, the power that we are creating our reality. And I believe there are energies and forces and beings that know this power, and therefore they're controlling the public perception, and they're controlling through public perception the words that people say and the feelings that people feel. And so the world has been created according to what they want. And I say, no. Now's the time to take back our power and use the wand of our words to create the world that we want. And we do that by focusing our awareness with conscious awareness on what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just going back to what you said about the self-deprecating kind of words, it's just, if you find yourself about to say it or thinking it, if you find yourself thinking something like, you do something, you say stupid fool or whatever, and you feel that feeling, is to right there and then become aware, because that's the awareness. And right there and then you can actually stop and actually say something kind to yourself. And I know this works because I've done it a lot in my own life. So in that very moment, let's just say you drop a cup, and your initial knee-jerk thing, which could come from childhood or could come from some kind of conditioning, is you clumsy. You could say, oh, it's okay, it's just a cup. Let's clean it up later. Let's go and have a cup of tea. So you're not punishing yourself for it. Women can be very self-critical of their bodies. Just stop it. It's because every time you do it, you're actually reinforcing that self-image. And as we get older, we become very self-critical about what we look like. We've got a wrinkle, we've got this, and skin saggy. We've got to look through it and see the beauty. So it's just to become aware of, what are your words saying? What are you saying? What are you saying to yourself? on a daily basis? Because that's also often reflects out into other people. Are we gossiping? Are we talking about people behind their back? Do we need to do that? Is it doing any good? No. So those are the times where we can just choose not to say anything and not engage. It's more empowering not to engage than to actually engage in that kind of negative,
It's interesting you talk there about criticism. In our online Journey to Freedom course, we have a week on conscious relationships, and we give some sort of guidelines as to building a more conscious relationship. And right up top there is eliminate criticism. We spend a lot of our words in a relationship that's been around some time in criticizing. And criticism serves no purpose, no constructive purpose whatsoever, other than to make you feel better about yourself, that you are above them. And that's what criticism does. It doesn't actually promote positive change. Criticism never promotes positive change. So why do it? So number one in conscious relationships is to make a pledge: no criticism ever. Now, the primary relationship we have is with ourselves. So let's make that a rule number one about the way we speak to ourselves. No criticism. No criticism at all. Drop the criticism. And you'll find, from Masaru Emoto's work, as we start to use kinder words regarding our body and regarding ourselves, we physically change the body to be more enlivened with a harmonious life force, to be more in balance, more constructive. And so I think that's number one, is because, if you have a bad relationship with yourself, which many people do, you will reflect that out into the world around you. And you will then be critical of the world around you because you're critical of yourself. You're hard on yourself. Therefore, you'll be hard on the world around you. So, relationships all start at home, I believe. They start here with us. And to be kinder, that word that you said, kinder, to be kinder with yourself. And Wayne Dyer, absolutely amazing teacher, Wayne Dyer, he said you can choose to be right or kind. And you might be clumsy, you might see it. Yeah, that's right, you are clumsy. Is that kind? No, it's not kind. It's not kind to express those words through your mouth.
You can just be kinder to yourself. You can just laugh at yourself and say, sweetie, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't have to be inauthentic about it.
Yeah.
You just be kind, like you would be to a small child.
Yeah.
There's that beautiful quote by Rumi. He said, raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
You can just, make that rain falling down. That's what makes the flower bloom and grow. Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder.
Yeah, and then raise your words. What's being spoken about there? What does it mean, raise your words? It's to raise the frequency, the vibration of the words that you're saying, because that grows flowers.
Yeah,
that's beauty.
Beautiful.
And that word beauty is so, so powerful. Are your words kind, but are they beautiful? Does the majority of the words that come out of your mouth during the day reflect beauty? Because there's so much beauty in the world. There's so much beauty in other people.
Yeah.
And do the words reflect that beauty?
Or we're looking at everything wrong, the glass half full, and this is awful, that's terrible. And we can feel it in our emotional body. We watched something the other night on Gaia, and it was this technology that they've got. And what they did is they got this woman who was an actress, and they got her to sit down, and basically they said, okay, focus on something that makes you feel really not good at all, whatever that is, something that stresses you out. And because she was an actor and she was used to accessing emotions, she was very quick at accessing it. And it was so interesting because what happened was this guy had this technology where sounds would start to actually arise based on picking up her vibration. And the sounds were kind of chaotic, discordant. You couldn't really call it music. It was horrible, sort of heavy, discordant music. And the colors were quite dark and clashy.
And jagged.
And the shapes were quite jagged. And instantly, as she changed, and they said, okay, think of something calm and peaceful, obviously, the exact opposite happened.
Yeah.
The sounds became wavy and calm, and the colors became lights, pastel blues and that kind of thing. So, you know, if we could see our words and we could see our emotions, we would change them if we could actually see them. So it's just to know that's actually what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm criticizing what's that actually doing in the field. It's coming out as like a jagged, discordant vibration. And then what's going to happen? That's going to ripple out, and that's going to come straight back at me. So I'm going to land up feeling really tired and jagged and stressed. So I think they've got more power than we even know.
Yeah.
And I think that with the rest of what's going on our planet, with this major shift that we're experiencing in consciousness, we're beginning to really get this. We've talked about it, and, you know, lip service, and yeah, your words create your reality and your thoughts create, but we haven't really got it. Because if we really got it, we would really be cognizant of what we're taking in, what we're feeding, what we're reading, what we're sending out. And we see on our community, our inner space community, of the beauty that gets shared on that community, and how it uplifts you when you read it, isn't it? And it's instead of all the other stuff that's out there. It's like a little bit of a solace. You go there and go, ah, isn't that beautiful? It's a poem, or it's a song, or it's a beautiful video, or it's some beautiful image. And it immediately evokes a feeling. And that is what advertising and media do.
Yeah. And so, as Michelle said, most media and advertising is designed to make you feel less than, and then their product will make you feel more than.
Yep.
But the primary thing is always to make you feel less than.
Yeah.
People who are anxious and fearful consume far, far more than people who feel fulfilled.
Much.
So the idea is to make you feel less than, inadequate, so that you will then need that product. As against, for example, you spoke about our inner space community, and maybe some of you aren't on our inner space yet, and if you're not, please join. It's a really very uplifting community, and the more we feed those inputs, those words into our awareness, the more we change our vibration, our frequency, and then paradoxically, the more we change the world, the more we help the world birth itself into something magnificent, something beautiful. So as to be aware of what we feed ourselves from a media point of view, because it does actually have a ripple effect in our subconscious mind. It really does.
And it's not even a bad idea to have words sort of in your environment. You know, like you think about the moto thing. Have words around, words and images that inspire. You know, so if the word love inspires you, or flow, or connection, or whatever it is, paint it, put it on a picture, print it out from a computer, put it up somewhere where you can see it, because every time you look at those words, they are going to uplift you. And unfortunately, at the moment in our society, we've got a lot of the other going on. And if you think about, just over the last 2 years, I'm not going to even mention the word, but the word that's been on everybody's lips, on every single device, on every single poster for the last 2 years, has been reinforcing fear for the last 2 years. Every single day, all day long. You switch on your phone, there's an SMS and it's got it on it. You go on Google, it's got it on it. Every single time you look at anything, it's got those words on it. No wonder everybody's terrified.
Marketing.
It's been incredibly powerful.
Very powerful.
I've said all along, it's an incredibly powerful campaign.
Yeah, it is.
Having seen very powerful campaigns in the past, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, if you throw enough money at anything, you can create a perception, whatever perception you want.
So it's almost like going on a bit of a diet of that. If you find yourself, your energy being pulled down, maybe it's time to go on a bit of a diet of social media or the news, the movies that you're watching, all that kind of stuff. Just take a little bit of a back step and watch something empowering, watch something uplifting. We watched a beautiful thing the other day on Rudolf Steiner, how he taught and what his message were. Incredibly uplifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we mentioned it earlier. That's I don't know if if you're aware, but we have Netflix on the one side, but then we have this incredible one called Gaia TV. My goodness me.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There is just so much stuff there. Really beautiful, uplifting, empowering stuff to watch. But definitely cancel your Netflix and join up for Gaia. And it's not that expensive. I mean, how much were you paying?
140 something.
140 Rand a month. And you've just got access to these incredible, inspirational documentaries, movies. It's really absolutely, really,
well done,
really beautiful. And then that way you're feeding your mind with something really uplifting and really positive and really empowering in an amazing way. We talked a little bit about this before, but I am absolutely convinced that in the next 7-8 years, we're going to fully become aware that we're making it all up. We're making it all up with the power of every thought we think, every feeling we feel. We are creating our future. We're going to know it not just from an academic point of view or an intellectual point of view. We're going to know it from an experiential point of view. We are the creators of this world. And the more we choose a more conscious way of living, the more we choose a better world for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren. And this process of creation, it's actually a co-creation process. And I believe there are a lot of energies coming into this planet at the moment to help with that. You spoke about Absolutely. Lightening your words. You're making your words lighter. And we know we're going through a photon belt. We have a lot more light coming into the planet at the moment, where we are actually being given the power to raise our vibration, to raise our thoughts, to raise our words that we say. But we've got to participate in that. This is not going to be done to us. We have to co-create with this new energy and to choose mindfully the words that we say and the feelings that we feel.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, because it's up to us. It's not necessarily anything that's going to save anything. It's up to us.
Yeah,
we are it.
Well, that's what I read last week in that Hopi poem. We are the ones we're waiting for. It's a beautiful line from that poem. We are the ones we're waiting for. We're waiting for us to awaken to our real authentic power that we have to create reality. Instead of being hypnotized by the world of marketing, the world of persuasion, start choosing the destiny that we want to live, the world that we want to live in, and give it energy, give it focus, give it attention.
Yeah, and it's being aware of what's going on. So it's not being, not being head in the sand. So being aware of it, but being cognizant also of not too much of it.
And the power.
It's a balance, and then bringing your power back. So getting the information that you need to get, and then coming home, and choosing what you're going to watch, what you're going to listen, what you're going to say, moment by moment.
Choosing to feed the world that you want to feed.
Because we so often say things and we don't even know we're saying it. And that's why it's really good if you've got a friend or partner who can actually say, let's not say it like that. Because we don't even know that we're saying it very often until the words are out. Like, this is never going to end, or those kinds of words. Or it's all going to, down. We say it a lot. And a lot of people are saying that. So it's just to be aware of it and help each other, isn't it? To remind each other.
Yeah. And one of the quickest ways to change a state from fear into something higher is to, they found in a Harvard study, just to be excited. To be excited instead of to be depressed. To be excited, because excitement has such a powerful energy at shifting our thinking, shifting the words that we say. When you're excited, you will use very different words as to when you're fearful or anxious or depressed. So be excited. It is an exciting time that we're going through. We signed up for this.
We did.
And we wanted to be here at this time.
On the dotted line.
Correct. We wanted to be here because this is a tremendous ride in an amusement arcade, and it's very, very exhilarating. So be excited. That energy changes, and the words you'll use when you're excited, very, very much more constructive than the negative words which you used to say. Yeah. And then just to go back to one of the most powerful tools we can use in our words are the words from an affirmation that we have chosen. And the most powerful affirmations always contain 3 P's. They're positive, they're present tense, and they're personal. They're about you. Present tense, positive, and personal.
Always.
And so every week we give you an affirmation to use, and these are very, very powerful. We'll give you another one tonight when we end, another powerful one. We'll choose one for tonight. But using affirmations, there's such a powerful way of constructing a new reality for yourself and for the world around you.
Yeah, it's like what we were saying earlier. If you tend to be self-critical, choose an affirmation that's the opposite of that. So if you feel that I'm not worthy, then choose one. I am worthy. You know, an affirmation, I am enough, even.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel unloved, I'm lovable. So choose the opposite of wherever your mind normally goes to actually bring you back.
And not I'm going to be lovable,
I am.
but I am. I am it.
Yeah.
I'm here already.
And you feel that.
Not I'm going to heal, but I am healed already.
And even if you don't feel it in the moment, you can say it. The more you say it, the more it actually starts to change your program. We programmed. We have a program running. And this is about reprogramming that. You're rewiring. Absolutely rewiring.
Yeah, rewiring the brain.
Yeah.
Now Louise Hay has a lot to
so I'm going to end off tonight, and I'm going to read an affirmation from Louise Hay, which is, I would say it's a life-changing thing if you can do this on a daily basis. So I'm going to just ask you to relax and get into a nice comfortable position, and then I'll just read her words, and they are available on the internet. So it's actually from this book, though. You Can Heal Your Life. It's this book. It's a really nice one, this one, John, because it's got lots of images in it.
It's a gift edition, beautiful
it's
edition.
Beautiful. It's got all these beautiful coloured pages and images in it. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just all relax. Get yourself seated. Feather your nest. Make yourself really comfy. Take a beautiful deep breath in. And then a releasing breath out. And then another beautiful breath in, filling up your tummy. Taking the breath all the way up into your chest. And then sigh out whatever you don't need. And as you sigh it out, you can shake it out of your shoulders, drop your shoulders. And just settle in a bit further. And then a third deep breath in. And then a gentle but long, slow out breath. Soften, soften. Just open your body. Your shoulders back a little bit. Rest your hands upwards, open. And allow a beautiful wave of pink light to come in through the top of your head and move all the way down through your body. Allow it to swirl around and spiral through your head. And as it does that, just relax the little muscles around your eyes and nose, mouth. Unclench your jaw. Soften your scalp. Bring this beautiful pink light down into your neck, relaxing the neck. Down into the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders. Into the arms and hands. All the way down into the front of your torso, into all your organs. All the way down your back, spiraling down your spinal cord. Releasing and relaxing your back. Down into your pelvic area. Relaxing and releasing, softening. Down into your legs. Swirling around your knees. Into your shins. And into your feet. And then into the Mother Earth. And just feel your whole body relaxed. Completely present in this moment. And just open up your ears and let these words really move through you. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of love. I now allow this love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of love makes me feel good. It's an expression of my inner joy. Breathe, deep breath. And out. I love myself. Therefore, I take loving care of my body. I lovingly feed it nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly groom it and dress it, and my body lovingly responds to me with vibrant health and energy. Deep breath. I love myself. Therefore, I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that fills all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with the vibration of love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel this love and be nourished by it. I love myself. Therefore, I work at a job that I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my creative talents and abilities, working with and for people whom I love and who love me, and earning a good income. Deep breath. I love myself. Therefore, I behave and think in a loving way to all people. For I know that that which I give out returns to be multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of what I am. I love myself, therefore I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. I'm going to repeat that one. I love myself, therefore I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I am free. Deep breath. And out. I love myself, therefore I love totally in the now, experiencing each moment as good and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure. For I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. And so it is. Let those words just settle. Feel them in your body. Feel the love in your heart in this moment. And just allow it to expand outwards naturally, so that it fills up your whole body and ripples out into the field. Let's ripple that energy out into our communities, into our countries, to all those who are suffering, and to our leaders. Now taking a deep breath in And a releasing breath out. When you're ready, you can gently start to open your eyes.
Beautiful, hey? Louise Hay, what an amazing teacher, hey? Amazing soul. So privileged to have her, share the earth with us.
I just saw on the back of the book it says, the thoughts we think and the words we speak create our experiences.
Yeah.
So there we are, it's on the back.
On the back of the book, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. That was lovely. That was really lovely.
Good.
Thank you. And we're going to give you an affirmation for the week ahead. Michelle's going to choose from one of our affirmation cards here. Oh, well, that's perfect. That's beautiful. Yeah, that goes right in line with what Louise Hay was saying. I am love. I am love. The I am is the name of the Creator, and you put the word after that, and that's what you amplify into this dimension.
Yeah.
I am love. So I'll photograph that and I'll put it up on the Facebook page. I am love. How beautiful is that? Now, next week is going to be our last satsang for a couple of weeks. We're going to give ourselves a break over Christmas and New Year. So do join us for a very special one next Sunday. It's full moon.
Yeah, it's full moon.
And a Christmas one. And we have a lot to share with you in next week's satsang. So please join us next week. And then also the other announcement is that our bookings for our next Journey to Freedom course, that's the 13-week online course, are now open. So you can go to journeysofAwakening.com and you can register your place there. It's the first week is absolutely free. You don't have to commit yourself. Don't put your credit card details or anything. You're welcome to join us for that.
And the first week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be imagining in the new year.
Yeah.
So there's a very big, strong theme astrologically this coming year, 2022, of imagination, of using our words and our images to imagine a new future. So it's going to be imagining the new year. So we're going to be focusing on that for the first week, and you can join us just for the week if you like.
Just book your place now. The course itself only starts on the 27th of January, but do register now. journeysofAwakening.com.
Yeah.
And we look forward to catching up with you next week. And don't forget, build that feeling of excitement. There's a lot of good stuff ahead. There's a lot of good stuff. Feel that excitement. Focus your thoughts and your feelings in alignment with that excitement, that joy. Thank you. God bless. Thanks for joining us tonight. We love having you here on our Sunday night satsangs.
Thanks, everyone.
Nighty night.
Night night. Sleep tight. Love you.